Bad Azz is a rapper from Long Beach who unfortunately lost his life back in late 2019. Bad Azz has done songs with the likes of Snoop Dogg and the late great Tupac Shakur, aka MAKAVELI. I recorded Bad Azz's last interview ever shortly before he passed away. There are other YouTube channels out there that claim to be his last interview, but if you look at the dates, I in fact conducted the last live video interview of Bad Azz before he passed. It was a great interview, and although I am sad we lost him at such a young age, I am very happy that I got the chance to interview him and listen to his amazing story. Let's jump right into the interview. In this first clip, Bad Azz discusses recording the song Crazy on Tupac's classic MAKAVELI album. R.I.P. Bad Azz.
I went in to say what's up to Tupac. Me and Snoop had came to the studio, and they had the studio in front. We had to pass by their studio to go. Like, they had A and we had B. And they were like two big $1 million studios. It was beautiful. And Pac and them was in there recording. Even the last couple of days, I had been stopping in saying what's up to those guys. Those were my guys. And I'd already did songs with Pac. We was already cool, you know? Mm-hmm. Did a lot of shit together. So we was just tight. And I was going to say what's up to them. And I went in there, and they always had like drinks and weed and food and shit. And when I went in there, we used to smoke cigarettes. So I came in there and I was smoking cigarettes. I had Newports and shit. Pac was smoking, and the Outlaws in there smoking. They were drinking Hennessy and doing songs, and they was working on Crazy. But I came in, what's up, everybody? You know, I was probably in there like 10, 15 minutes. What's up? How you fools doing? What y'all got going on, man? What y'all fools on? Roll a blunt. Let me smoke one. Let's smoke one. I'll roll up. So we all doing all that regular greeting, and then poured me up a little drink. You know, light up a cigarette, smoke a little weed, and then they working on the song. I'm hearing the jam, and Tupac had did the first verse. He was just like finishing the first verse, and he probably wrote it, and then shortly before I came, and then while I was there, he recorded it, like, you know. Mm-hmm. So he went in the booth and dropped it, and then he came out. And they have all the extra shit. They didn't even have let me get a cigarette, dog, yet. Yeah. So he just recorded the first verse, and then he came out. And then I guess he did the hook and whatever, and he went back in, and then he did his second verse, and it was probably like 15, 20, maybe another 30 minutes, real quick, it wasn't long. And then he let it play a few times. Now, mind you, now I'm vibing. I've been in here probably less than an hour, but I've been in here like 45 minutes now. And it still wasn't long, maybe there, but it was getting too close to an hour, and Pac was like, after Outlaws, like once, hey, somebody ready with their verse? They're like, not yet, you know, we're not ready yet. And everybody was writing. Everybody had pens and pads, and they were standing by their pads and, you know, drinking and still talking and chilling, but just working on their shit. And I don't know. He just asked me, like, out the blue, like it was meant. It was meant for me to be on it. He just said, Bad Azz, you got something for this? And I was like, hell yeah. And I just went in there and did it right then.
Time goes by, puffing on lie, hoping that it gets me high. Got it going crazy. That song, Crazy, was my favorite song on the whole MAKAVELI album. I love that album and still bump it to this very day. That verse from Bad Azz is legendary. God help me out here. I'm possessed. I mean, one of the best verses in hip-hop history, in my opinion. In this next clip, Bad Azz discusses what was going on during this time in his career to make him write these deep lyrics for the song Crazy.
I wrote the verse like a day or two before that, and it was all... Look, all of that shit is like, this shit is spooky because I wrote the verse a couple of days before that, right? Okay. I had a stress, some kind of, now I won't say like a breakdown, but I had like this, I got real stressed out.
I felt that in the song. Go ahead, keep going. I felt that.
I was all up. So, and it was all like, it was everything that was going on. Like, it was like, imagine being like almost, it's like heaven, and then everything just started fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not in like not bad yet, but you could see the like I could see like the disruption. I could just see it. Like I could see like the frequencies was like getting fucked up. It was like fuzzy. It was like it was like fucking up. And so I sat in the studio a couple of days before that, and I was like tripping off my homies, and I was like, damn, like. And it was no one person in particular. I was tripping off of like the whole death row structure and, like what we had going on. And we was like, at that point, I had, imagine, getting serious about rap and wanting to do something, and then I'm hooked up with Snoop. And I know Snoop for like 2 years before I even rapped with him. You feel me? Okay. So it was like, I hung with him, kicked it with him, went here with him, did this, smoked weed with him, played him my songs, he played me his shit, even went to the studio with him and seen him record, Mm-hmm. But I've been to his house. I had been to his house with him before I recorded with him, everything, So, like, I was just kind of, coming from a place where I was just starting to get some money. I had money. And it wasn't a lot, but I had a few thousand. Like I was up. I had more money than I ever had in my life. I might have had $50,000-$60,000 in the bank. I had a nice, apartment and, nice furniture. Everything was just like it was like surreal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Couple of cars and shit, few chains, and everything was just like damn. Like I was dreaming for all this shit. Mm-hmm. Like I probably had 10, 20 bands in my pocket. Everything was beautiful. So I was just like, damn, this money, and then it started seeing like negative shit, like this happened and this happened and this happened, and then one of the homies come in like just mad or something, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why we like rich and everybody mad, or it's a negative weird like essence, So I sat down and I was like, it's the money. We all wanted to get this bread, and we talking about it all the time, and we having fun, but I'm like, what is the most important part of this? I'm like, the music, the camaraderie, like, we love each other more than this money. Mm-hmm. And that started making me feel like, okay, it was really a release, because I wrote all this stuff down, and I was feeling this because money was like plaguing us, and it became like you said, a classic hip hop song. It became one of the best records, but that was something that I wanted to put in hip hop. When I decided that I was going to do it, I want to do something great. I want to do a song that's big, that one day people will look at, and still I got other ones too, but that song did what it was supposed to do. If I never made a song as big or as deep, that song is just, it is what it is. It's just one of those real emotional, spiritual songs. Pac was on what he was on with it. I was on what I was on. He asked me to get on it. I did it. When I remember him running out the booth like, "Bad." When I came out the booth, he just hugged me like, you made the album, like, that's fucking amazing. And I was young. I didn't even know how dope it was. I ain't gonna lie. I was rapping. I was just rapping. I knew it was dope. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't know it was that. It took me 10, maybe 12, 15 years to realize that was as potent as it was,
That Makaveli project was so dope. What I loved about it the most was the production wasn't as polished as Tupac's previous releases. You can hear throughout the album where the production, the vocals was a bit off, but you could tell Tupac said, leave it like that. I want this album to be raw. And that is how the Makaveli album felt to me. It felt very raw. And in my opinion, Bad Azz had the rawest verse on the whole project. And I was so proud that someone from Long Beach, my city, represented so well. In this next clip, Bad Azz discusses the escalation of the East Coast, West Coast beef, which he was right smack dab in the middle of, as well as the infamous Source Awards show where SUGE made his famous speech.
And one other thing I'd like to say, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, Don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing, coming death row.
Well, the beef, it was dumb because, you know, I think that people, we kind of say the media. I just think the media, they didn't start it. I think they kind of propelled it and generated it, kind of gave it fuel, like put fuel on the fire. But Tupac had came from New York, and he was already turned up.
Rap star Tupac Shakur is in a hospital recovering from serious gunshot wounds.
Rap star Tupac Shakur was entering the street-level lobby of an 8th-floor recording studio near New York's Times Square after midnight when 3 robbers confronted him and his friend.
They ordered him to the floor. Tupac resisted. He was shot numerous times, at least twice in the head, once in the left arm, once in the thigh, once in the groin area.
And before that, Tupac was in jail, and we went to New York, and it was a crazy little vibe. You feel me?
What do you mean?
So, Tupac hadn't even came to death row yet in '95 when we was at the Source Awards, and Snoop was like, y'all don't fuck with Snoop and Dr.
Were you
Dre.
there?
They was like blowing him. Yeah, I was there.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
The East Coast don't love Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. The East Coast ain't got no love for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Death Row. Y'all don't love us. Y'all don't love us. Well, let it be known then. We know y'all East Coast. We know we at East Coast and out.
Yeah, I was right there. I was in the front. When Snoop was saying that, I was sitting in the front row.
Dude, tell me about that vibe that night. I need to know. You were there.
Oh, it was crazy. We didn't know. We was tripping. Like, we was ready to shoot the shit up if we had to.
Hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you appreciate what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. Right here on DustyVisionTV, I'm keeping West Coast hip-hop history alive. And today we're paying homage to a West Coast legend who unfortunately lost his life way before we could see his full potential. I'm talking about the legendary Bad Azz from the LBC crew. In this next clip, Bad Azz talks about Kurupt. That's right, Kurupt from the Dog Pound, serving a bunch of MCs in New York City, which led to the Dog Pound's hit song, New York, New York. The night I served 2,000 MCs, give me love, baby. 'Cause can't none fuck with the DPG.
When he battled Method Man, I was rapping. When Kurupt battled night, I served 2,000 MCs. It was really like about 150, 200 New York niggas out there. But we was all out there, and niggas battled like damn near every familiar face you seen.
Yeah, you was there.
Yeah, I was right there standing next to Kurupt.
Night I served 2,000 MCs.
Me, Daz, we was all right there. We was hanging out in New York, and it went up. So look, now, you know, when we get home, niggas was working on projects already. You feel me? Niggas was working on projects, so we went straight to the shit. DJ Pooh, Biggie already rapped on that beat.
I know you're thinking, well, goddamn, what he drinking? The cookie letter. No wonder beer feel better.
Biggie St. Ives commercial was hard as fuck.
Yeah, I'm
Nigga,
bumping it right now.
took that beat and aired it out.
We're
So
watching it
everybody
right now.
took it with like a dish, you know? And then when Snoop started kicking the buildings, I don't even know why he took that, because that was, Snoop just did that because it was like tight on green screen. You feel me?
Classic story about a classic song. Kurupt is one of the dopest to ever do it, in my opinion. He's in my top 10 of not only the best West Coast rappers of all time, but in my opinion, Kurupt at his prime could go bar for bar with the best in the industry, and Kurupt would come out on top. Kurupt is someone I would take into battle with me any day of the week, especially back in the 90s. Bad Azz was a beast on the mic also, so it makes perfect sense that they were close back then. In this next clip, Bad Azz discusses his song, Getting on the Thin Line Between Love and Hate soundtrack. Have you guys seen that movie, Thin Line Between Love and Hate? It's a great movie with Martin Lawrence. I personally watch it all the time. It's a classic. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly suggest it. Great soundtrack. And the song Beware of My Crew. You guys know this song. Somebody somewhere best beware of my crew. Ended up becoming a classic hit. And it landed on the soundtrack. Here's Bad Azz talking about that time.
That's my debut record. That's the first professional record I ever put out. First record came out on a label, released. First record that I got paid like good money. I think the first money that we touched off that was like $25,000 a piece. You know, like it was crazy. So, and then Snoop told us, yeah, we want to be in a movie. I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So yeah, that's my baby. I always love that record, and I always share a little bit about that record, which is good for me these days. Just a part of my story that I liked everything that I heard from Dog Pound. That was the first thing that I didn't like, and I told Snoop, and I'm glad that he did me how he did, because I've watched Snoop do this as an example. I go, hey. Or I see someone saying at the particular time, like, hey, I don't like this record. He's like, all right, cool, don't rap on it. And that's it. He do it. He'll do a hit record on the beat and keep it moving, and let you regret it. If that's what you do in your head, or let you regret it later. But that particular record and how Snoop was fucking with me, he didn't do that to me at that time. And I didn't expect him to, or I didn't know what he was going to say. I really didn't want to rap on it. He was like, we're rapping on this today, or whatever. He pulled it up. Like, I didn't have no choice of it. He just pulled the beat up. This was it. And everyone, I think everybody was like feeling it. And I was like, I ain't really feeling this. And it was one of the first ones. And I was like, I ain't really feeling it. And then I was trying to think of raps to it, and I couldn't really feel it. And Snoop was like, I was like, man, I ain't really feeling this beat. He's like, Badass, this is going to be a fucking big record. Rap on it. Go write something dope to it. You hard. And it kind of inspired me, and I was like, all right, fuck it. And I wrote what you hear on it. You feel me? Yeah, I had to. That was dope for me, because like I said, that was the artistry in me. I was the artist in me. I didn't feel it. I felt it to when Snoop, it was like homework. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like something that I wanted to do. It was like homework. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I did feel it enough to tap into the, the feeling of it to make that record stick how I, did it. So of course I felt, because when you said that, it made sense. Like, you didn't feel it, like, damn. Well, it wasn't something that I felt like just organically, like, oh, I like this, I want to rock on this,
Right.
And then when I did it, it wasn't forced, because I'm an artist. I sunk into it. I got in that zone. And like I said, it was good. It's like I looked at Snoop like a sensei, and he was like, Badass, like, tackle this beat, like, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like conquer this shit, whatever. He didn't even explain it in that detail, but that's what I got from him. Like, Badass, this gonna be a big record. Just rap on it. Like, do your thing on it. Like, dig into your badass bag and come out what you come with, and that's what happened. So
nice.
I appreciate that record, and then, like I said, it became my first debut record, first record I ever got a platinum plaque for, first record I could say I made $100,000 off of, and to this day I couldn't even count it. I've been making money off that since it came out.
Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already, and once again, if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. Did you enjoy Bad Azz's music? I know I did. His voice, his flow, his cadence, everything was on point. He was such a great MC, and he knew how to make good music. In this next clip, we discuss the East Coast, West Coast war that eventually took the lives of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. We also discuss Suge Knight and how death row affiliate artists were protected on the road during this crazy time.
Suge used to have off-duty and retired police officers as security, and regular, just higher armed security. Bro, we had Frank, rest in peace. We had so much security that, we a lot of the homies, so don't get me wrong, what you saying, that's any person that travels under, that's not a government official, they have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not just, what would you say, like, something that's familiar or a practice that's done by all urban Americans, because realistically, like, I can't get on a plane with no gun. You know what I'm saying? I don't even carry guns like that for real.
Yeah.
So I'm on an interview. You know, so at the end of the day, you can't go somewhere in a foreign territory and not be protected.
Yeah.
You know, it's like how they talk about checking in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people don't understand that concept, and I forgot what rapper was, but somebody explained it really good. Like, me personally, I don't check in nowhere. And you know, some people, you hear them saying that, and 6ix9ine was trying to make it like some big old negative thing. The way he was like, people was like punking him to check in, and he was like, you know, I ain't got to check in. And it's like, for real, if you're a real nigga, you ain't got to check in nowhere. But somebody said this, and this made a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. I say, yeah, we don't check in because we've already established relationships in these places, so we do basically check in, but with our homies. Mm. When I go to New York, I hit my niggas. I'm in town. Mm-hmm. You know, the goon body's gonna come. They right there.
Yeah.
You feel me? I got fools that grew up in Jersey and lived in Cali. I got fools that grew up in New York and lived in Vegas, lived out here. You know how many New York niggas is out here? You know what I'm saying? Since before I ever went to New York, I was a New York nigga. I went to junior high school with a nigga fresh from New York. You feel me? Always got people back and forth, you know? So my thing is, as you go get your friends, and then you a rapper like me, like Jadakiss, that's like one of my rap friends. We don't walk past each other. We smoke blunts with each other. I was in the studio with him in Yonkers like two summers ago. You know, him and Styles P. You tap in with your people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can have armed security. You're going to have the safety of, you know, the locals with you. So you're not going to have to feel like, damn, I need this or I need that. And then I go to dangerous cities like Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, you know, but you got to be with the right people. You can't just run around that city going to the trap house to go buy some weed and with 40 bands on you and you a famous rapper. Somebody going to kill your ass. Yeah. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
So it's not like we haven't been in situations where things could have happened, but we know how to move. We come from places like that. Like, I'll go eat with the sharks, but I guarantee you I'm going to go find the locals that have ate with the sharks and go eat with them, like have them take me to go eat with the sharks. You feel me?
There you go.
So if I want to go to Brazil and go meet some gangsters out there, I'm finna ask around. And look, the real motherfuckers, you know, it's like coming to L.A. If somebody from far away come here and they meet a person and they be like, hey, could you take me to like where the gangsters are? And they really can't. They gonna tell you, hell no, I can't go over there. My homeboy, what's your name? You know, like he could take you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. And that's just saying when you travel and you know shit, you know, that's how I know I'm not going to go to Miami and just go to the projects with anybody. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to hop in the cab and tell the cab driver, take me to the pork and beans. You feel me? I'm going to call my homies in Miami and be like, wow. And then, hey, man, I'm trying to go check out the pork and beans. Like, man, you got to call the homeboy. What's your name, man? You feel me?
Yeah, yeah.
Same way if somebody want to go to Long Beach and they really want the gutter tour. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Call one of the homies like, yeah, hey Snoop, I want to go get it like a real go meet some homies in Long Beach. He gonna tell you who to go with. He gonna like, hey, Young Sag, take that nigga through the hood. You know, take him to go eat, take him to go meet some of the homies and shit. You feel me?
I really, really hope you enjoyed this. And if you want more, please hit that subscribe button. I do this every Saturday live right here on DustyVisionTV. And if you are not familiar with my channel, go down the rabbit hole and check out some of my interviews, check out some of my content. I think you will be truly, truly pleased at what I've put together right here. But let's jump into the last clip of this classic interview with the legendary, late, great Bad Azz from the LBC crew. In this final clip, Bad Azz discusses Compton and Long Beach and the talent that continues to come out of these great cities.
Art is meant to be marveled at, and if you put your city on the map, it's art now. You feel me? Kendrick Lamar is art.
Yes.
Snoop Dogg is art. And when you got a city like Long Beach and Compton that got so many celebrities from the, well, if you walk, I was in Compton day before yesterday, and I swear it's really a poor city. Yeah. Like Long Beach is rich. We right next to it, and Long Beach is a rich ass city, and Compton is like a poor city, way more poor than Long Beach. But my point is, like, look how many celebrities and look how much talent and how many beautiful, like, genius-minded individuals, from Dr. Dre to Eazy-E, Kendrick Lamar to all these people from Compton. YG, I love him. He ain't lyrical as fuck, but he is just he's a celebrity. Yeah. I love him. He's a dope ass little blood gangbang rapper, and he know how to do it to me. He don't just get on there and just blood this, blood that. Mm-hmm. He make it entertaining. Come back being booed. It's funny.
And lastly, I want to ask you this last question. Because you have established a name for Long Beach. You helped put Long Beach on the map, right up there with Snoop Dogg. What are your thoughts of the new breed of Long Beach rappers? Like the OT Genesises, and are you familiar with Stupid Young, the Asian rapper? Yes.
Nobody really gonna tell. Like, if you could tell me about any new one that I don't know, I would be happy. I fuck with Memphis Mo.
Name some.
I fuck with TF Third. I fuck with Kai. You gotta fuck with young Kai. He's dope. He's upcoming. I might even sign him on my label. So many, man. It's a lot of talent. I love Super Young. I like Taya Third a whole lot too. That's my little dude. I like his style. And just everybody from Long Beach, man. We got Zaire. We got so many different
Vince
dope
Staples.
Artists, what I'm saying?
Vince
Staples is hard as fuck.
He's worldwide. He is helping Long Beach stay on the map, man. I'm proud of that.
He's killing it.
I appreciate you joining the channel. Once again, hit that like button if you haven't already before you head out. And please, if this is your first time joining and you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I'm also on the Rumble app. That's RUMBLE. Download the Rumble app onto your phone and then subscribe to DustyVisionTV. All one word, DustyVisionTV on the Rumble app. I'm also on Instagram. That's right. You can follow me on Instagram, DustyVisionRadio on Instagram. And I also have a big Facebook group with almost 10,000 people in my Facebook group. And that is DustyVisionTV on Facebook. I appreciate you all. Talk to you soon. Peace.